Just a Sigma male.
A man says women say one thing but mean another. Another man teaches other men how to get women into bed. And finally, one man says men need to learn to listen to what
An MRA, PUA and a Feminist Walk into NBC's talk show with a female audience.
women want, what men really think of women today. Hello, everyone. I don't know if you noticed by the shots that we're taking, but this is an audience of all women today. We have invited them here for a reason, because we have three men with different points of view. These three men think they know what women think. And today, we will find out. Meet Ross Jeffries. He says he got tired of being Mr. Nice Guy and being dumped by women. So he changed his ways, and he wrote a book for other men who feel the same way. It is called How to Get the Women You Desire into Bed.
Straight to the point.
This is Mel Fight. Mel says women say they want a sensitive guy, but the minute men get sensitive, women run the other way. And finally, Bruce Weinstein. Bruce says he is pro-feminist and pro-woman. He thinks men would be a lot better off if they only learned to listen to what women have to say. Well, Ross and Mel, I guess you already realize that your positions are in the minority here.
No surprise.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to stay out of this for a minute or two, and I want everybody. I'm just gonna fire off some questions, okay? Just so we get some answers, all right? And I may leave some of those balls hanging up there for you ladies to slam dunk later on, but that's your prerogative, all right? Ross, what do women really want?
I don't care what they want. I only care what they respond to. See, my focus is a little bit different from your other guests. There's what women say they want, there's what women think they want, and then there's what they actually respond to. I'm not an academic, I'm not a theoretician. I'm interested in what works on the street when it's time to date and mate. And what women actually respond to is not what they say they want.
So what do they respond to?
They really respond to a guy who's a challenge, a guy who's a question mark, a guy who keeps them guessing. You see, in the beginning, the less attractive you are physically, the more you have to rely on your attitude. And that's what I wrote my book for. I wrote my book for the average-looking, even ugly guy who goes out there in the real world and tries to be a nice guy, gets his head kicked in.
So no more Mr. Nice Guy.
You can be pleasant. You see, we got to define our terms. By nice, I mean accommodating. When you accommodate, you get what the commode gets. You get the crapola. You have to learn how to say no to a woman.
Yeah. As I said, I'm going to let a lot of these things hang, and you can all take them on later. But so this, I guess, attitude is your word. This attitude that you now have is more appealing to women?
The attitude is vastly more appealing. Basically, the attitude is I make no excuses for what I want. And number two, I don't need you, you need me. Now, bear in mind, I don't verbalize it. Exactly. Now, you see this response here. You should never verbalize the attitude. You show it in your behavior.
You're sitting here pointing your finger at him. Stand up and tell us why you're pointing at him.
No, I was just saying that he's just got this prejudgment of what women are like, and I think what he should do is just develop his own self, and then he's going to find these relationships
the
work better.
sleazebag you see is the real me. I've found the real me.
I think you've prejudged us. I mean, the audience reaction at the top of the show showed that the women here have prejudged us. I think it's a sad comment on women that they respond to the kind of manipulative behavior that Ross is encouraging that men do. That's a sad comment on you. Listen.
And that should be a right person.
You know what I found? I found that the nice guys who, when I'm on the radio or TV, nice guys call up and go, well, it wouldn't be myself. It's the nice guy who's the phony, who's not being his real self, because he's afraid he can't do any better.
So you're going back to my point. All men are jerks?
No.
And some hide it.
No.
Wait a minute. But isn't that what you just said? Is all men are sort of jerks, and some of them try to sugarcoat
No, what I'm
it?
saying
is that what you just said?
No, what I'm saying is that. What I'm saying is,
I said I was going to stay out of it, and I can't.
What I'm saying is that there's a massive power imbalance in favor of women when it comes to dating and sex. And women, through their behavior, through showing men what they actually respond to, force men to act in a certain way.
Yes, there is a power imbalance in our society, but who wields the power? It is men who wield the power, and I'm here to say, I'm here today to say that it is time for men to give up our power and authority and our privilege, because we have dominated women, we have dominated other men, we have dominated the planet for too long, and it has got to stop.
Hold on a second. This is what women want. They want to hear this. If women want, what you want is you want to hear that we're jerks. You want to hear that we have all the power. You know, the most important unspoken truth about men is that we are very angry. A lot of us are very angry at women. And this is a good example. You're showing why we're angry. You're not even listening. You don't want to listen to what we have to say. And I'm
afraid that they heard it.
I don't think they heard it all. And I think, you know, the reason that men don't communicate about their anger, we keep it secret, is because when we try to tell you why we're angry, you respond with ridicule, with disbelief,
why are you angry?
or your own anger.
I'm not angry, I'm satisfied, because I know how to manipulate women and get what I want. But let me say, his point is so preposterous. Get a shot of this audience. Every woman sitting here is sitting on more power than Con Edison pumps out in 10 years. You control the access to sex, and that is an incredible amount of power.
The man asks, the woman says yes or no. She has the power, and that makes, wait a second, let me make, a lot of men feel, you don't know this, but it's the truth, a lot of men feel powerless and degraded and dehumanized by the sexual system whereby the man asks and the woman decides. We feel harassed every minute of every day of our lives, and it's about time that you understand that.
When we look at wait, I'm sorry, 1 second, Bruce. Mel, stand up. Now, doesn't that invite harassment?
No, what it invites is hypocrisy. What it invites is, you know, the fashion rage for women this year is a man's suit and tie. When you decide to ridicule me in my skirt, you've got to be kidding. You've got to be kidding, Faith.
I don't like the length, and I don't think it matches the sweater is my problem with it.
But now, wait a second. I said that when men stand up for themselves, what do they expect from women? Ridicule. You proved it, didn't you?
I did. I'm guilty right here. I admit it. I admit it. You have a question?
Yes, my question is directed to him. What's your name again?
Ross.
Ross. I think you're gonna.
You said that Ross. You said it Ross.
Ross, I think you're gonna end up.
Say it right. Ross.
Ross.
Yeah.
I think you're gonna end up a very lonely man.
That was a question.
But you gotta understand, he says quite the contrary. He says he has a much better dating life, romance life, sex life now.
It's incomparably better. Yeah. I mean, you know, let's look at reality. The reality is that nice guys not only do nice guys finish last, they often don't even get into the race. And you want to talk about fashion. If a woman does like a nice guy, it's her way of making a fashion statement. It's fashionable for her to like that.
And Ross is absolutely right. Women have a lot of sexual power, and he has the courage to say that. He's making a mistake, though. He's encouraging men to simply surrender to that power. And I think, you know, if you're a man and you follow Ross's advice, you're going to get more sex, but you're going to have less self-respect. There are more important things in life than getting one.
We all disagree on that point, but let me get to the commercial break, and we'll come back and find out why in a moment.
Not available in bookstores.
Against women in general.
True?
Never fails. Every show we do, we talk about our feelings. Someone stands up and said, we've had bad experiences. You're trying to trivialize what we're saying, and I resent it. It's the hostility that men and women have for each other that's poisoning our relationships. We've got to be able to talk about it and listen to one another non-judgmentally.
I don't think I've been poisoned. I think I'm just doing what works.
Faith,
it's a matter of doing what works.
Excuse me. One thing the women's movement has taught me is to avoid speaking for other people. So I would like to ask you, if you think that men need to change in some fundamental ways and do a better job at listening to you, please clap your hands.
What's smarmy? Wait a minute. Do we have... This guy's like he's running this guy's like he's running for office here. He knows how to work the crowd, okay?
And you know the
I'm not
But
interested.
you know what? It's not a stretch for him to get this audience to agree with his point.
Wait a minute, but I am not interested in what applies in the mummified halls of academia. I understand.
I'm not speaking as an academic. I'm not speaking as an academic.
I'm talking for the little guy out there who gets his head kicked in and always winds up being the buddy, the big brother, and here is, let's be friends. You want a friend, lady? Get a dog.
Okay. And here's the thing. Here's the thing you have to know about Bruce, Faith. Here's the thing that's important for women. There's something important for women to know about Bruce.
We just met. How do you know about
But
him?
he's doing something that men have done for centuries to women, and it always backfires. He's putting you up on a pedestal.
No,
He's keeping you free from criticism. I respect you enough to, if I think you're full of it, I'm going to tell you. He won't.
You know what men need to do? What the point of the women's movement is not to make everyone feminine. The point, as I understand it, is to make everyone whole. So what men need to do is reclaim the femininity that we've lost.
I can't believe you. I'm the one who's sitting here in a skirt. You're the one who's dressed in very conservative male attire. You haven't begun to question anything about masculinity.
I want to put women on a pedestal so I can look up your skirts. I mean, I don't have any problem with it.
There's an absolute...
Hey, Ross, let me just ask. One second, please. Ross, is there a woman in the audience that you'd like to ask out?
Pardon me?
Is there a woman in the audience you'd like to ask out?
I'm booked up for 1993. Sorry, ladies.
You have a question?
Yeah, I'd like to know, when is the last time you had a real commitment with a lady? And did she respect how you treated her?
I cannot hear you. One more time.
When is the last time you had a real relationship with a lady?
What makes you think it's your business?
See,
My business? Well, you're sitting up there like you know everything about women.
And deal with the issues.
He just made a personal
hang
attack
on a
against
second,
me, and
Ross.
yet he's
I think
asking
it
me
is a
not to.
fair question, and I will tell you why I think it is a fair question, because you wrote this book saying you got the answers.
You know what?
So,
At the moment, I'm having lots of fun. I don't have a personal commitment to one person. Although I have been with someone I've loved for a long time, me.
let me ask you. Given that, let me ask you this. Do you care if a woman is satisfied the one that you're with?
It goes without saying she's going to be satisfied if she's with me. Now, listen, let me tell you something. I'm serious about one thing.
But it's
I'm being a little obnoxious to get a response, but I'm serious about one thing.
Got it.
I honestly do believe that there's no better way a woman can win, spiritually, physically, emotionally, than being with me. I really believe that. I
You
really
didn't
do.
answer the question. Does it matter to you if the woman is satisfied?
Yes,
It does matter.
because she's going to come back for more. Of course it matters. It's in my own interest to see that she's satisfied. It's chapter 18 in my book.
And it's pathetic. Ross's arrogant attitude works with women. I think it's pathetic.
But you seem to be putting the blame on women.
Well, he's been conditioned by women. This is the result. This is what you get. You get a fellow
All right.
like Ross.
John, take a wide shot of the audience, please. Put your hands down for a second. Take a wide shot of the audience. Does anyone here find Ross's approach to women appealing?
Oh, they're going to admit it. Come on, Faith. Come on, they're not going to. Number one, what we have here.
What? I didn't hear that. What?
She said we don't even find Ross appealing.
What we have here is a phenomenon called denial. That's what we have.
I think Ross is denying something very important here.
Okay, wait a minute. Oh, wait. Falling through the audience. What are you screaming about? You just threatened me. Stand up here. Why did you threaten me to come over here with the microphone immediately? Stand up.
Okay, because first of all, I find this utterly preposterous. You're sitting there and you're putting us down to a certain extent, and what you fail to realize, both of you, okay, is that without your mothers, you wouldn't be here. Hush.
Okay, I cannot. That was the stupidest argument I've ever. Oh my god. Cool _ I can't check a link because it's